Ladies,
No,
and
hold
what
on,
is
hold on.
happening?
I
Well, we're in
botched it.
blackness. I can't see
No,
anything.
I botched it.
Who turned out the lights? Turn them on. I can't see a thing. I don't know whose hand is on my ass.
We're going to do the intro again, goddammit.
I do not appreciate this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Fist, where we review and discuss your and our favorite action or action comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, from the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
Doing well. How about yourself, Ozzy?
You know, I see your background there, and I apologize that I do not have my Skynet Terminator's jersey on. I missed the boat on that one. But I'll say that. I'll save it for Terminator 2. I'll keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Also with us, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Botched. Yeah.
Well, you did that with the intro, and you know it was.
I didn't know what
dark.
you're talking
I
about.
couldn't
This
see
episode
anything.
started,
And somebody's hand was
perfectly.
down my pants, and I didn't appreciate it. So anyway, this week we are reviewing and discussing the classic film Terminator that was released in 1984. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
We do. Classic trailer.
In the 21st century, a weapon will be invented like no other. This weapon will be powerful, versatile, and indestructible. It can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It will feel no pity, no remorse, no pain, no fear. It will have only one purpose: to return to the present and prevent the future. This weapon will be called the Terminator.
You're dead, honey.
What day is it? The date?
12th May, Thursday.
What year? I'm here to help you. I'm Reese, DN 38416, assigned to protect you. You've been targeted for termination.
Why does it want me? Why me?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. Your future is in its hands.
Again, that was the trailer for The Terminator, released on October 26th, 1984, rated R with a runtime of 107 minutes. Written by James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd, directed by James Cameron as well. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Michael Biehn. Todd, are you Biehn? Okay. So initial thoughts on this. Of course, I mean, I saw the sequel first, went back to see the first one, so it felt like a prequel in a sense, but obviously dated in 1984 with 1984 technology in terms of cinema's concerned. As much as the main Terminator theme has been popularized as that classic Terminator theme, the rest of the score, as like in my initial thoughts, has always made this film stand out. Like, is you take Arnold out, and it's basically the cheesiest slasher movie we got.
Oh, no. It is 100% a slasher film. and it's not a cheesy slasher film. It's a slasher film done well.
Arnold doesn't make it because here's the thing: Arnold can't act like a robot, so that didn't that campiness wasn't there. The music though made me had like the campiness feel to it, made it a little fun. Michael Bine as Bean,
Either
I
way.
apologize.
Either way,
Uh,
I hear it both ways.
I had a tough time with this go around watching because
Really?
the reason is because whenever we watch these movies, I have a certain perspective, and there were some scenes where it was kind of like, ooh, the acting, it wasn't really on par with Linda Hamilton, right? Linda Hamilton and Sarah Connor doing a great job, but Michael Linus, Kyle Reese, a little tough to get through. And maybe I'm only biased because so I got the Blu-ray, the original Terminator, and with the Blu-ray comes terminated scenes, not deleted scenes, terminated scenes. And there's actually one with Sarah Connor where she is suggesting, okay, let's go build up or blow up Cyberdyne then. Let's prevent this from ever happening. I don't want to be consistently living my life on the run like this, which is an actual logical conclusion for the character. And I at the moment I'm watching this, I'm like, this is really strange that this was cut. But then to hear his reaction to her saying all this, and he tried to cry, and it was so painful to watch.
Mm.
Like you don't understand. This flower is not
Okay,
here.
you're judging his performance off a scene that was purposely cut, though.
I mean, it's almost to the point. It's like, okay, you got to see the scene because it's like, it's a MST. Like I wanted to see Tom Servo and Crow T Robot and Mike Nelson right there, or Joel Hodgson for those, and make some comments for this scene because that's what it seems straight out of. You know, like I said, you take Arnold out because Arnold can totally you buy it that he's a robot, but the tears from Kyle or like I don't know. There was just something that that was tough to get through. I kind of liken it to Six Flags. When I was a kid, I used to love riding Viper, right? It was a blast. However, when I was an adult and I went back, not that much fun. Because it was so bumpy, right? And the individual word keeps hitting my head. But it's kind of like that same instance where when I was younger, like, yeah, this totally works. I don't mind. And then this time I was like, man, he's really kind of dragging things down a bit. Not the character, because I love the the character Kyle Reese in Terminator Salvation, played by Anton Yelchin, which that was fun to watch. I don't mean to jump too many movies ahead, but here
I knew he was going to bring up Salvation because he has a really big hard on for that.
I do.
I found funny. You talking shit on acting, and Christian Bale is like the most over the top he can be in that movie. That's the one problem with that movie. I think it's just funny you're calling that acting when you got Christian Bale over there acting a fool in Salvation.
Watch the the deleted scene or the Terminator scene.
I know I've seen all the deleted scenes.
That kind
but
of
I get it, but that's not
okay. Okay, so let me explain this.
Wait, no, let me explain this. You understand this is James Cameron's second film. His first film being Piranha 2: The Spawning. This is still a B movie. This is like straight out of James Cameron films. Sorry, Roger Corman Film School.
I gotcha. I understand that. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier with taking Arnold out of it, taking out like the A-list celebrity none.
Well, but he wasn't. That's the thing, though.
I know. You look in retrospect now. If you were to look back on this, you could say, watch this. It has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, at the time that argument could have made who's that guy, but sorry. And at the time, I'm sure it was seen as that movie, but now going back, you take out Arnold, and it seems like a movie that could have been made on Mystery Science Theater.
Now, if they would have kept the original star, it would have 100% been looked at as a slasher today. If it was OJ out there chasing, OJ was originally the Terminator.
OJ Simpson.
Yeah, they wanted him, but the reason he didn't get the part and keep the part, because they were convinced no one would believe him as a killer. So that's a true story. Yeah.
Still
Or
is.
what if a film producer from the future said, "Hey, this isn't going to be a good idea."
Then
It's
we
more
wouldn't have
on
had
par.
Terminator 3, 4, 5. Can I keep going?
Yeah, that's fair. Also, another note on one of the other deleted scenes actually scared the crap out of me for a
Do
second.
you know what his next
Shows-
picture was, by the way? He
No.
followed this up with Aliens.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So this got him the job.
I got you. So another one of the other terminated scenes was showing the aftermath of the attack and the cyborg in the press, and you actually have a police officer telling people dressed in suits who apparently work at this facility, "I don't want you touching anything until our boys get done with everything," right?
Right.
And then, the guy says, "Oh, sure, officer." And then he goes over to another guy that's in a suit, and he pulls out from his jack pocket, has like the circuit processor from the brain. And he says, "Oh, this is unbelievable. We'll send it to research and development on Monday right away," or whatever, right? The camera pans out, and that's when you see Sarah in the hospital taken away in the ambulance. And as it pans out, the factory that they were in, that they led the Terminator 2, was actually Cyberdyne Systems.
Right.
So it's not revealed in the regular version, but it's one of the deleted scenes, which is kind of I didn't understand why that scene had to be deleted, because I felt if that was put on at the end, I mean, maybe it was too. I mean, like you said, it was a second movie, so he probably didn't think there's going to be a sequel, right?
But like not. But I think logic dictates if that's where it is, like even without knowing, because I mean that's what kicks it all off. But that's also from a perspective now, knowing everything.
Right. At the
So-
time, if you saw that,
But
it zoomed out and it said Cyberdyne Systems, the same, company that Reese was talking about,
right.
it at least would have made sense that they didn't go to just some random factory. Like
Right.
there could have been, maybe there's another terminated.
They-
scene that could
they
been
might
on
have-
the Blu-ray. Go ahead.
They might have thought it was too on the nose. They could have tested it. It could have like not, it could have been distracting. There's tons of reasons why. And being 40 years ago, I was like 8, so I wasn't following the trades as close. So
Well, and in retrospect, it was a fun scene to watch.
Yeah.
Another thing that is interesting is at the end of the film, right before it goes into credits, the first thing. Oh, by the way, I did need to mention Dick Miller as the gun store clerk.
and you know
Mm,
why?
mhm.
I was going to bring him up obviously too.
What?
Cameo's the same reason Dante always uses them, because they're both School of Corpsmen. So
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So right before the credits rolls, there's a note that says acknowledgement to the works of Harlan Ellison. Harlan Ellison was a writer on The Outer Limits and had claimed that this film stole a lot of his ideas.
right.
And James Cameron is quoted as saying, "Harlan Ellison is a parasite that can kiss my ass." That's fun. However, if you watch the original version, you'll see this come up. It was not in the theatrical. It was put on for home release. And that's why it's Harlan Ellison is mentioned. However, not given any credit in terms of story or credit or story or characters or screenplay or whatnot. None of that credit is given. It's just acknowledgement. Like, yeah, we know he did that, not our story. Almost feels like, screw that guy. We're only doing this because our lawyers told us we had to, right? So getting into a favorite moment, for me, it's easily at the police station, just to see him kind of be like that one-man wrecking crew and not knowing how things are going to happen, the suspense of it. Huge fan of the scene. Greg?
Yeah. For me, so this was the first time I'd seen the original. So I was
okay.
even shocked that Arnold was, the bad guy the whole time. So, yeah, but it was definitely. I was expecting T2, which this is a very different film, and so the opening of when he first meets up with that gang of punks in the beginning, and I was like, okay, this will be interesting, and then like rams his fist through the guy's body. I was like, okay, we're in for some fun. So that was definitely a great starting point for the film.
I want
to set the
I want to
tone.
shout out one of the punks was Bill Paxton,
was about to say, gang
the
leader,
only man to
Bill
be killed
Paxton.
by an alien and a predator.
Hey, there you go.
Interesting. There you go. Todd?
No, Greg, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, I
He-
thought you had more.
He did his moment already.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Mine is obviously the police shootout also, but I did want to point out one thing that I never noticed. I was enhanced, so I noticed a few extra things. When they're talking about the photo of Sarah Connor from the future, and Kyle's like, what was she thinking about when the photo was taken, this and that, all that stuff. So like it never clicked that we'd find out the answer. She was thinking about him when the photo was taken. So that was a moment I'd never noticed before. So I thought that was really cool. Just a little thing. But yeah, my favorite moment's a shootout. It was already there.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
just it's a fun time.
I mean, yeah, but I mean it's 100%. It's a horror picture when you come down to it. It's structured like that. So obviously it's something I'm gonna like for that. Terminator 2 is the better movie, 100%. But it's a different movie. It's like Alien and Aliens. I love them both for different reasons. Also, coincidentally, first Aliens horror picture. So,
Well, that was also Ridley Scott.
Yeah, yes, true. He did. Yeah, Cameron just did the second end, but it has a very similar. They both are two different films, even though with this, Cameron did both. But yeah, so there we go. That's my favorite. Oh, we want to talk about why this is a Christmas movie?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Again, this is not my theory. This is just the one that's been going around. Let me pull it up. It's more Christmas, like, okay, because there's two types of Christmas movies. The one that like do the spirit of Christmas, and then like Die Hard. There's two different kinds. They're kind of saying this falls in the Die Hard category, versus like the Elf category. Christmas spirit, Christmas allegories, I guess, is what the difference is. And the thought with this one is JC's obvious. John Connor, Jesus Christ, the whole. So that's where it goes. It's all about that, and I don't know. I didn't say it was my theory or a good theory, but
It's a short platform to build off of.
yeah, that's basically it. And but they say it's both films. Like in the sum, Judgment 2 are probably not the best film to watch at Christmas party or to get into the holidays. They still offer us, oh Jesus Christ, these are words. Tolkien-esque.
He's talking about Christmas, and he said
Tolkien-esque. Yeah, teaching us the true meaning. Okay, because it's saying this is the meaning of Christmas, the humanity stuff. Yeah, this all sounds like a crackpot theory. I'm gonna send you this, Ozzy, and when we do Terminator 2, you can break it down. We'll sneak peek it.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you. This is a lot of nonsense.
Ozzy, you're good at linking bullshit together. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Give me.
basically.
I mean,
You're not wrong. I mean,
Okay.
that's one of my talents.
So if anyone out there can better explain why this is a Christmas movie,
If I read it and spend like an hour on it, I'll be able to translate.
okay. Well, so there we go. Terminator 2 will sometime in 2025.
And this is being recorded on November 10th, right before it gets to the ratings. This is available to stream on Amazon Prime as of November 10th. So definitely check it out if you are able. Yes, Todd.
And it was just released on 4K with a brand new remaster. And unlike the really bad True Lies remaster, this one actually is a good one. You can actually see a little bit of film grain on it. It's not completely waxy. So yeah, there you
Excellent.
go. Pick
All right,
that
now
up too.
let's get into the ratings. The beginning was a bit slow for me, but once action really starts
It's
happening, I
weird
mean,
because like you already know the story, so it's kind of like you're just waiting for it to happen.
right. So when the whole setup is happening, it's like, all right, let's just get to the good stuff. You
Because
know,
you already, yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
so
So
however, I mean, going back to the police station scene, I mean, it's and then the "I'll be back" line stemmed from that scene. Iconic and classic. Um, however, if I'm looking at this objectively, as much as I love the franchise itself, basically
do you
2
though?
and I was about to say basically 2 and Salvation in my eyes,
Oh, okay. I
right?
forgot that one.
Uh, I still had fun with the action scenes, but I will have to take it down a bit for the beginning, to a 3.5, 3.5.
Okay.
Because I'm not, and I should preface this also by saying I'm never been a really big horror fan or a fan of slasher movies, so it's not really a formula I'm um, used to or particularly a fan of. But because it is its own, it's the Terminator. I'll give it a shot. But that's just me at 3.5. Todd, I'll save
Yeah,
yours for last. Greg?
yeah, that it's hard to watch a movie that's as old as it is for sci-fi horror. This during this period because some of the graphics definitely dated, the acting dated, but I still love the sci-fi of it. All the robot scenes were great. It
Stop motion.
yeah. I mean, it still works, you know. So I enjoyed it. Definitely not one of my favorites. T2 was a lot more fun. So I have to agree with Ozzy. This is a 3.5.
And Todd.
Well, I'm 100% a 5 on this. I'm not even gonna like short. It is. I mean, but I mean, I also got to watch it as a 9-year-old for the first time.
I can see that.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like this
Yeah.
is something my cousin was like, "You got to watch this." Okay, so we watch, and it's been there ever since. And I love the first 2 films. Like,
So I think for me and Greg, that was probably us with T2 because I
yeah.
first saw T2
Oh, I
when I
love
was
T2.
9 years old,
Yeah.
and somebody the exact you have to see this movie. And I remember watching T2 and it's like, oh my god, that was amazing. So seeing T2 first and then going back, that was tough.
No,
But I can
I get
imagine
that. It's
I
like
can imagine though, if I saw the first one though first, I can probably see it enjoying it a bit more to the point where I would probably give it a 4.5 at least.
it's like when people watch Halloween today, the original. It's like all it is tropes that's like from every horror film they know now, and it's slow and it's just it doesn't connect anymore. I mean, this one isn't to that extent. I mean, because it still is, there's action set pieces in it, but it's such a small film compared to the second one. But I mean, it was. I mean,
Right.
so
I got you.
if only we had the OJ version.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned, as of November 10th, this is available to stream on Amazon Prime or wherever you purchase or rent your favorite digital content. And if you will be in the Orange County area this week, I will be hosting trivia at the Rush Barn Grill this Tuesday in Lake Forest beginning at 7 o'clock, and also this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia beginning at 7 o'clock. Both are always free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Come on out and have some fun. Do you guys have anything else before we head off for the evening?
No.
All right. Be safe on your journey back to the future there, Greg. Make sure you're
Yeah.
come back in one piece.
Yeah. Try not to you got to come back with no clothes, so try to land in an area where that won't matter.
Whoa. And if your balls accidentally show, we'll put a digital brick like Cameron did in T2.
Can't wait for that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We're going to be back next week with Flesh Wound Farce, as we will be reviewing and discussing A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. Very fun, very exciting to check out. So for world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.